The cinema projectionist Ganshin was the man who previewed these films for Stalin.
He didn't watch films for his pleasure, just to see what films were being produced. If the picture were politically sensitive, he would give orders for corrections.
In a masterful stroke of propaganda, Stalin now innovates a foolproof method of setting up his potential enemies for liquidation. He begins by manipulating the nation's frame of mind. At Stalin's orders, every Soviet medium sets off a great clamor of phony spy and saboteur alarms. Children help catch spy. Saboteurs tried to wreck train. Cursed traitors of the motherland. Trust no one, the media trumpets. Your husband, your wife, your brother could be a capitalist spy. The Soviet cinema outdoes all other media with a virtual spy and saboteur festival. It works. Stalin has only to frame and then accuse his enemies of espionage, and the angry mob calls for their blood. Our enemies want to tear our young Soviet Republic to shreds. But we have the NKVD, our secret police. Long live our beloved friend and leader, Comrade Stalin. Stalin's deification is a process to which every writer, painter, musician, and actor must contribute, or else. Actor Alexei Diki has been serving a prison term in the Gulag. But Stalin is so impressed with the actor's commanding stage presence that he paroles him. He performs, paradoxically, the role of his own jailer, the General Secretary of the Communist Party, Stalin. The film is one more brushstroke on the great canvas that Stalin is painting to correct the mistakes of history. On one occasion, Stalin, the master illusionist, plays himself. It is late autumn of 1941. Hitler's army is within 20 kilometers of the Kremlin. Nevertheless, Stalin decides to stage the traditional Red Square military parade, celebrating the October Revolution. For security reasons, the schedule has been changed, and unaware of this, the camera crew arrives too late to film Stalin's speech to the ranks, and barely in time to record the last battalions marching off to war in the falling snow. However, when the film is released, Stalin is there, exhorting his troops. The error had been remedied that same night, inside the Kremlin, when Stalin, on a mock-up of the Red Square mausoleum, reenacted himself addressing the marchers. Few viewers will notice that his breath is not frosty, nor is snow falling. The terrified camera crew had needed several takes to get it right, much to Stalin's annoyance. The filming had not gone altogether smoothly. Indoctrination of the Red Army with the Stalin myth requires little finesse. The troops are marched into the cinema and voila, it is done. As the myth of his divinity takes hold, Stalin himself seems to undergo a transformation. In his speeches, he begins referring to himself not as I, but as Stalin, as if to say that the real Stalin is an invisible, benevolent, and all-pervasive force. A force of which the mustachioed man on the podium is but one aspect. The attraction of this idea is irresistible. In the eyes of his people, Stalin has become a god. Not everyone believes in the deification of Joseph Stalin. Boris Pilniak, a writer, publishes a novel in which a party leader schemes with a surgeon to murder a political rival on the operating table. The parallel is blindingly obvious. Mikhail Frunze, a promising young leader, had died undergoing surgery at Stalin's suggestion. His crime had been simply that he was too popular. Behind his mask, Stalin is enraged. He will take revenge 10 years later, when memory of Pilniak's novel has faded. Pilniak is then shot. From this moment forward, Stalin has a score to settle with Soviet literature. Now, every work of every writer will be developed under party scrutiny. Soviet literature